Hello, so we're back to the usual mattress backdrop, but I might put some fabric over it to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. But for now, you can just deal with this. Okay, anyway, before we get into today's topic, I wanted to let you know that my awesome friend gave me his spare SD card, so I have a lot more storage that I can work with now, and I can use my point and shoot camera. So this will enable me to do more videos, and that will have my full body in it as well. So I do plan on doing a dress video, a cosplay video, and hopefully a K-pop dance cover. They're really hard, but I will do my best and hopefully you'll like it. Today's topic includes things I do to improve my mental health. Disclaimer, this is my experience. This has worked for me. It might not work for you, but I am sharing how it helped me. So let's get right to it. Number 1, I stopped checking the scale every morning, and I did not realize how much that improved my mental health. What happened was that my digital scale was on low battery, and I wasn't really in the mood to change the batteries, but it wasn't urgent that I do so I just didn't check my weight. I mean, even if I did, I would need to change the batteries, which I did not. And that has made me feel better because I used to let the number make or break my day. So if I lost a few pounds in the morning for some reason, then my day would be better. If I somehow gained weight, even like half a pound, my day just sucked and it was ruined, and I hated how I had that kind of mentality. The scale should be a guide and not something I obsess over. I mentioned this in my identity crisis video as well, but I went to the doctor's office the other day and I had to check my weight like always, and I had to use the bathroom, but I wanted to get the doctor's appointment over with more than seeing a couple of pounds less. So I was okay with my higher weight. And it was weird in the sense that like I just didn't obsess over it, and I knew I had a full bladder, but that number did not break me, or I was not upset with that number. So it definitely has improved my mental health, because throughout my life, I've also mentioned it in my background story in my relationship with weight, that I don't know, weight has always just been a big part of my life, but I think it was also because I was surrounded by people who cared about their weights as well. Not blaming them, it's just look, it's because that I was already obsessed with weight. So if I'm surrounded by other people who are obsessed with weight, it seemed okay to do so, if that makes any sense. What was it called? Herd mentality, something like that, or mob mentality. But yeah, so the fact that I stopped checking my weight has greatly improved my mental state of being, and now I'm just more concerned with being healthy. I don't know if I feel like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Number 2, waking up earlier to spend time by myself. I emphasize spending time by myself because I do not believe the concept of a normal sleeping schedule. However, I do believe in an adequate amount of sleep. So getting enough sleep. So getting 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. That's what I believe in. But anyway, that's besides the point. But oftentimes, most people are not up by 6:30 or the people in my household aren't up by 6:30 or 7, I do my best to wake up before 8, and I've been able to do that naturally. I mean, sometimes I wake up at like 8:07 a.m., but it's okay. But I didn't realize how much of an effect, a really good effect that it has on me. So like I wake up, it's super peaceful, it's super quiet, and I can enjoy, making tea for myself and then seeing the sunrise, or like from it going from being dark to being bright out. And that has made me feel a lot better. So since I do believe in a good amount of sleep, I do sleep earlier now too. But I love the mornings. It's just really peaceful, and I need a time to myself just to sit by myself, because there's like so much noise. I mean, even if it's good noise, sometimes you just need to relax, and being able to relax for that hour in the morning has made me a lot happier. Number 3, not scrolling through social media. Okay, I emphasize the not scrolling part because honestly, I think social media is amazing. You don't know how many times I asked a question on social media for favors and people have responded to me or reached out to me. I remember one time, like for Valentine's Day, I'm like, who wants to be my Valentine? Who wants to get me burnt almond cake? And my friend came through and gave me burnt almond cake. And of course, it's a two-way thing, so I also gave her like a face mask and a card. And we also spent dinner together. Another example of how social media is good is that I asked for an SD card and so many people reached out to me. So yes, I think social media is a good thing. My main point is to not scroll through it excessively. Scrolling through social media excessively should not be your default when you're bored. You can be the most positive person in the world, but sometimes, and I think this applies to a lot of people, and I mentioned this before as well, we often compare our everyday lives to someone's highlight reel. That's why it's not good to excessively scroll through social media. Social media is good, or can be good, but it can also be detrimental if you just keep scrolling. So once I stopped scrolling excessively, so when I'm bored, instead of going through social media, I do other things like read or color. It has made me like a lot better, because then it makes me focus more on the things I like, and it makes me focus less on other people's lives, if that makes sense. So I'm focusing more on myself and not on others. Number 4, slowing things down. What do I mean by that? So if it's not urgent, then I don't do it right away. So one example is, normally if I see something that is messy, or if I see something that's like out of place, I used to feel the need to adjust it right away. But if it's not interfering with anything, then I focus on my current task at hand, and then I clean it or I fix it up later. Same thing when it comes to texting. Before, I felt the pressure to respond right away, especially if I was online. But if the text is not urgent, then I don't respond back immediately. I respond back when I feel like it. And I guess the fact that I'm talking a little bit slower at the moment is also helping. One of the things that this slowing things down has improved my mental health, because when I wake up, I don't try to rush things. I get out of bed slowly. I guess I am very lucky in the sense that I don't have too much obligations. But even when I was working, I would still like to wake up a lot earlier so I can do things slowly because I don't like feeling rushed. Like even if normally I would work very close to home, and of course I did not need that much time to prepare and to drive, but it helped me a lot, like just getting up early, doing things super slowly, and also it's really peaceful too, and just getting things done with some time left over. And normally I was early to work. Now, even like I mentioned, even though I'm not working, it's still really nice to just get out of bed slowly and to not rush things because it also decreases stress levels as well. Number 5, being flexible and adjusting. This means not overreacting when things go wrong. So sometimes I plan to wake up at 7, but then I wake up at 8. But then I tell myself, it's okay, and to not make a big deal about it. Because if I make a big deal about it, more time will be wasted. So I just kind of go with the flow. Or if there were some things on my to-do list that I wanted to get done today, like maybe clean a little, clean certain things, or clean certain clothing, but I was not able to get to it, like I said, I don't beat myself up. I don't waste my time regretting that things could have been done faster. I just tell myself it's okay. And being flexible has greatly improved my mental health because that means that I am not obsessing over perfection. When you obsess over perfection, it is very detrimental. So another example is before back in high school when I first started taking pictures and stuff, like just taking pictures with friends and whatnot, I would worry about like the smallest detail, like literally like after we took pictures and stuff, I would always zoom in to make sure it was clear and whatnot. I mean, of course you want the picture to be clear, but I was like doing much more than that. Like I was just like nitpicking at every detail in my head, and I'm like, that's just like unhealthy. Because, so a little bit off topic, but pictures are just supposed to capture memories, and they don't have to be super perfect. It's okay if you don't get that super perfect picture, as long as you are able to look back on it and just remember the fun times. If you do want a perfect picture, then that's what a photo shoot is for, right? And naturally, you will get better like the more you take pictures anyway. And a little bit off topic again, but actually maybe not. But basically, if you obsess over perfection, it takes away from the moment. So going back to being flexible, sometimes it is more important to get things done than to get things done perfectly. So as long as you get it done eventually, it's okay. I mean, there are some exceptions. I know that there's deadlines and whatnot, but what I'm saying is that you should be flexible with yourself. Unexpected occurrences like this pandemic happened, but you just have to be willing to adjust because things are ever changing. Number 6. So this is the hand gesture for 6 in Chinese. Okay, anyway, coloring. Coloring has improved my mental health greatly. I will do more coloring videos, don't worry. But it's like a form of meditation. Coloring, what I like about coloring instead of the conventional meditation is that I am doing something with my hands and I am focusing on it. And I love filling things in. And then when the coloring is complete, it looks absolutely beautiful. And I like how there's like no pressure and I can color however I want. So I've been using my pens and highlighters. It's just very, very soothing. It has improved my mental health. Like I mentioned earlier, instead of scrolling through social media, I would color. And as I'm coloring, sometimes I have a YouTube video on where people of my favorite YouTubers, and I would color as I watch or half watch, because sometimes it's mainly audio anyway. So yeah, it's just very, very, very therapeutic. I know people associate coloring with a childhood thing. However, anyone can color at all ages, at all levels. Yes, there are actually different levels of coloring. Like some is easier than others, and Muji pens help a lot. And I'm so sad I didn't buy more Muji pens when it was still open. But yeah, color if you have not. You can print out coloring pages online. It's very soothing and therapeutic. Okay, number 7. And as you guessed it, hand gesture for 7 in Chinese. Ta-da! I don't know. Okay, anyway. Watching food vlogs. Like, there has been a lot more lately because we're in quarantine. I like watching a lot of Korean food vlogs. If you would like recommendations, let me know. But again, they are also very soothing and therapeutic. I like seeing the process of how they make the food, which has inspired me to do my own food vlogs. I am not at their level yet, but I hope to be at it one day. And it's just so nice. I love watching desserts, and I just like watching Asian food being cooked, and it's just so nice, like seeing them like prep the ingredients and then cooking it and then seeing the final product, and I'm like, this is very soothing. I highly recommend it if you like food. I mean, who doesn't like food? I don't know. I love food. Okay, and number 8, read. Read and read. I know some of you might not like reading, but manga is reading. Reading manga is still reading. Even if you read a lot of books with pictures, that's still considered reading because it still has words. And the cool thing about reading fiction is that you can travel to so many places without actually having to move. Nonfiction is great as well because then you have more knowledge and you can learn. You learn something each day. Reading 10 pages of a chapter book helps. And reading any story, even if it is manga online, like I love manga, honestly. Like it has helped me so much. Like I wouldn't be where I am today without it. I mentioned this in like another video as well, actually in my how I stay happy during quarantine. One of the first manga, or the first series that I read was Fruits Basket. And one of my favorite quotes that I still live by today is the best revenge is to make yourself happy. And manga has greatly shaped and influenced my life. Like I would not be who I am today without manga. So reading has helped me so much. Back in my younger days, I read Harry Potter, and it was great, and I still love it, and I loved how it took me to a magical place. So I highly encourage reading, whether you like fiction or nonfiction with a lot of words or not that many words. I preferably read manga for fiction, and I do like self-help books. The manga I'm currently reading is Haikyuu. I have watched the anime, and I am almost caught up with One Piece. So those are the 8 things that have helped me improve my mental health. I would also like to add that reading has also helped me focus on the story. You know, like it has helped me, especially like with nonfiction, just learning something new just makes me feel better. You know, like I think reading is very, very beneficial because you either are taken to a new place or you just have more knowledge. Anyway, like I mentioned, these things that I have been doing have improved my mental health, and I will continue doing so to, to make myself feel better. And I hope this has helped you in any way at all. Remember that this is my experience and it might not work for everyone, but I hope you found this video helpful. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day.